Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Loves Tabletop Games. Today's episode, it took me long enough to do it. It's finally set up. Let's play Apex Legends, the board game. You'll have your legend, your squad, some starting stuff, and you'll be trying to eliminate other legends using weapons and grenades and everything. The game either ends after 8 rounds or when every legend on the opposing team has been eliminated at least once, or if you get enough victory points from eliminating enough people enough times. So as part of the setup, you'll have your map with the game mode. This is the first game setup. So we've got a little bit of elevation and other stuff, and I'll try to angle up a little bit to see the rest of the building there. There'll be little ring walls for closing in and making it harder to move around without taking some damage. Alright. And there'll be supply bins to loot, get more weapons, more stuff. So as part of the setup for the game, after setup, determine the game mode, determine the map. Each side will draw a card from. Let's just leave these. The aim deck. Whoever draws the higher number decides whether they want to be the red squad or the blue squad. The red squad has the advantage of entering the map first and going first in the round. Blue has the advantage of picking legends first in the draft. So alternate blue, red, and also placing first on the entrance board. Your legend will come with an info sheet, various tokens and counters and special things. Your figure, feat cards, various random things you can do during the game. Cards for your abilities that include those tokens. Your shield and health dial. Normally you'll start with 20 and 40, but if you start with a loot card that, if you start with an armor that gives you more shield, you'll bump it up. You'll have your board. At first you'll start with some common gear, but as part of the setup you'll get 4 common, 4 rare, and 4 weapons. After everyone's on your side has their loot and their weapons to start with, you probably want to work together because you can swap things around between the members, and maybe develop a little bit of a strategy on who gets what and what the overall plan is going to try to be. Some of the things you can start with are attachments that can go onto certain weapons. Like if it has room for the stabilizer, if it has an ammo capacity and it matches the type. Stocks and scopes require matching the node on the equipment part of it. And your weapons will start at their starting ammo amounts. Once everyone's set up. Oh, and one other thing. You'll get the player screens and the rings for your team. The rings go under your figures. The screens are used to hide your backpack. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. It's supposed to slot in like right there. Yeah. Alright. Come on. Yeah, I have to set the all the player stuff on a completely separate table. Let's see if we can hold that up. See it over there? Yeah. That's how much space this game requires. It's kind of why it's feeling pretty daunting to even try to set this game up in the first place. But yeah. You'll get everything set up, and then so actually getting all your stuff and figuring out who gets what is the legend loadout step. Anything you choose not to keep is discarded. Loot tokens go out of the game. The 2 weapons you don't keep will go to the bottom of, or go in their own little discard pile. And then as you get stuff during the game, you'll need to have backpack space, or you'll need to put it directly into the gear slot if it's gear, or if it's a weapon. You can take the ammo from it to put in a weapon of the same type that you already have. You can replace a weapon you already have of the same ammo type and move that ammo to the new weapon. Or you can just drop it. If you choose not to keep a weapon, it's gone. Yeah. Once everyone's figured out who gets what, go on to the map drop. So again, it starts with blue. First off, the top card of the entrance board is going to show how the ring's going to move the next time the ring moves. The ring moves after the first, third, and fifth rounds of the game. And it also does progressively more damage. So it might be kind of a risky move to try to come in from this edge. But considering as part of the deployment, you'll get to move and get something out of it as well. So here, move 2 and get a blue loot. Or move 3 and get ammo. Move 3 and get common loot. Or move 4. There will also be epic loot for each of the sides. The first person to deploy on that side gets to take it. So yeah, starting with blue. So here, and we'll take that one. Red. Here, we'll take that one. Except that's not really a good one. We'll go that one. Actually, we'll go that one. Take the barrel stabilizer. You can deploy another person to the same edge. It just means you won't get that that item. But eventually, everybody will be out here. And then, starting with red, they'll utilize their edge and move on. You start out at level 0 on the map, and every space is going to be 1. To change elevation is an additional 1. So with their starting move of 2, it could just start up here. Actual movement we'll get into later. But yeah, after you move, you'll get the loot or the ammo. Everybody will deploy. Let's just go through the process. Let's take our time with this, because you know what? I might as well try to get it right. You don't have to use the entire move. You could just get close enough. You know what? 1, 2. Let's start up next to the supply bin. This makes sense. Red's coming in from here, and also going to stop at the supply bin that's over here behind everything else. Yeah, one of the things that's just immediately noticeable is the elevation really adds to the feel of it. Stop the ammo. And move 3. 2, 3. There we go. Alright. Everyone will deploy, everyone will get their stuff. And then we go into final encounter step. So, start of the round, the red squad goes first. They move everybody, they activate everybody, 1 legend at a time. Then advance the initiative marker. The blue squad will then activate each of their legends, advance the initiative marker, and we'll go into the transition phase. During the transition phase, anyone outside the ring will take damage. Each legend will draw a feat from their feat deck. If you run out of feat cards, then you're done with them. Anything on the cooldown track will move down 1. So after an ability resolves, it will go to the cooldown track, and you'll have to wait for it to be available again. And then the round marker will move. If it moves into the space, then the ring will move. So as shown here, the ring will move 2 in from here, and then 1 in from here. And then it'll get shuffled, and then redrawn again for the next time it moves. The ring will move a total of 3 times during the game, reducing a 12 by 12 space to a 6 by 6. Let's go and find that old card, just keep things consistent for later. We'll move that back. All right. And then actually doing your activations. So when a legend activates, you declare which one you're using, and they have 2 activation points. The first point is when you use a point, you have to do as much of it as you can, and before you do the next one. It matters for movement because you cannot do 2 move activations combining them together. But overall, you can move, interact, melee attack, destroy, shoot, respawn, or use items. So let's get into... also, you can just discard a feat card from hand to either gain a move 1 action or add 1 movement point to a move action you're already taking. Although sometimes it may be better to play it as the feat card because that might give you some better movement anyway. But yeah. So movement. You can move 1, 2. You can move around the corner for 1. To cross over. Oh, and before you move, after you do actions, you can manage your stuff you find on the ground if people have dropped it, and stuff in your backpack. Because now that you're actually on the map, dropping loot will just leave it in the space. So yeah, it's 1 movement to space, any direction. You add 1 if you have to, if you're going up a level. So there's 2 right there. +1 across intersection at a level or up a level. So here, or actually, it'd be where the we have like 2 buildings like at kind of a corner. There's 1 to cross over, or 1 extra to cross over. All right. I freaking hate this. There's some neat little bits that come with the figures, but sometimes I just want to glue them in. Alright. To move up by a level is +1. So, 1. 1 and 2. Moving down, however, is free. So, from up here, it's just drop off for 1. Things that are impassable are respawn beacons, among other things. Obstacles like the half walls, supply bins, walls will add movement to get over. So going this way is like 2 movement. Clamber over the wall. You cannot leave the map once you're on it. You can move through occupied spaces, but you can't end in them. And you cannot go straight from level 0 to level 2. Alright. There's other stuff that the game comes with for terrain. When in doubt, the map object sheet is your friend. Alright. So a lot of the other activations are like move and do something else. So like move and interact or move and use. So let's get into that. First off, respawn. At some point, you're going to be reduced to 0 health, and you'll need to come back on the board. It is 1 AP to come back adjacent to a respawn point closest to your allies. So let's say, was it Bloodhound? It has been eliminated. They respawn next to this respawn beacon because their allies are there. Alright. And then you'll have one other AP to use for your turn. Interact. Once each in any order. Adjacent interactive objects. Remove attachments from weapons to your backpack, or fit attachments from weapons. Fit attachments to weapons from backpack. So again, if you have tokens that can go on a weapon that you have, you can attach them now, or you can take them off. But the big thing you'll be doing is interacting with supply bins. So it'll open up, and it can't be searched anymore, but you will draw a card from the supply bin deck. And I'll give you 2 weapons. You keep one, discard the other, and then some number of loot. This one is 3 rare and 1 common. Loot comes from the bags. We've got the common, the rare, the epic. So you really never know what you're going to find when you open up a bin. But yeah, you want to find the bins early and get what you can to get whatever advantage you can to deal with your opponents. Alright. Use grenade or consumable. All our favorites are here. We've got items like the syringe to restore health, the shield cell to restore shield, frag grenades and thermite grenades. Alright. You'll throw it out, let's say, got the grenade, throw it out to like 5 spaces out. Line of sight's not required, just toss it and hope for the best. Place the token out, and you'll use it the same way you use a weapon. You'll draw cards, except that you'll use the bottom part of the aim cards. So let's say we draw 1, 2. So it'll scatter 1 space that way, 1 space back. The frag grenade will do 20 damage to anyone directly on space, and 10 to anyone adjacent. When you take damage to your shield first and then your health, unless it is very specifically says health for damage. If it says shield for damage, then your health can't be affected by it. The other one is the thermite grenade. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces out. Right here. Yeah, this one very specifically affects a line, so you probably want to be careful with it. You can be affected by your own grenades. Do not be... do keep that in mind when you use them. Alright. Alright, that's use and consume. Anything you've, whether you use a grenade or use a restore item, it gets removed. Melee. Because sometimes you're just that close, and fun fact, one of the first times I actually played Apex Online, I managed to kill someone with melee. It's funny as hell. Anyway, melee, you have an adjacent enemy. You draw a card from the aim deck, and you need at least a 40. If you do, it's 4 damage. It's not much, but it's something. When you're out of bullets and they're just right in front of you, might as well. You push them one space straight away. If you're pushed out of the map or from a higher level down, occupied space at the same level, it becomes a collision. I think if you pushed someone off a high level too. So yeah, probably see the sheets over here. Like, I had to take a ton of notes just to get me to actually do this and be sure, because this is a lot. So if I try to, let's say it was over here instead, and I try to push, this would be a collision and would do 4 more damage. I'm trying to see if pushing someone off of a level. No, it doesn't. If someone would be pushed onto an impassable object from a higher level, they move into a different space instead. Yeah. And then take the collision damage. I think just the edge itself is not enough. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about this falling off normally. Yeah. But melee is something just to fall back on if you need it. Alright. And finally, there's destroy. Before we move on to the shoot action. Sometimes a match might feature an object that you can destroy. You just choose an attack type, use ammo if you need to, and then just resolve the effect. Imagine something like something might explode. I don't know. I'll have to look at the other modes and see what they have. But the big thing you're going to be doing in this game, other than looting shit from around the board, is shooting. To that end, we have the aim board. And the aim deck. You'll be placing cards onto the board based on the rate of fire. And you'll be trying to equal or exceed your 2-hit difficulty, which is going to be on your weapon. Modified by 10 for being outside your optimal range. Reduced based on your optics if you have it. You'll start more to the left if you have stability. Stability 1, 2, and 3. And other things may come into play based on certain results. So first off, you're going to need line of sight. Right now, nobody's got line of sight to anybody else. But let's fix that. Diagonally is going to be a clear line of sight here. But here, it's going to be blocked. Even up here, it's still blocked because of that wall. This is the clearest line of sight I got right here. But let's also change this up a little bit. Let's give them some cover. So shooting through half walls, respawn beacons, supply bins will provide cover. It's not a defined effect other than affecting aim cards. Other line of sight things to keep in mind, like here I can see down, so it's not a problem. Here, this is in the way. But let's just go ahead and have the cover here as a potential thing to mess things up. Alright. Let's bring back the motion. Alright. So let's take a look here. So optimal range 3. So let's go ahead and fix this a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. Although going through cover will provide that. Alright. Difficulty to hit, 55. So if they're too close or too far away, it would go up by another 10 for every space. So let's make it optimal range right there. Okay. Cards, 5. The ammo capacity will add 1 more. Well, that's the other thing. You have to make sure you have the ammo to actually shoot the weapon. And when you do use it, you'll drop it by 1. Alright. Let's see if I can scoot this back maybe a little bit further to set up the aim board. No. Alright. Let's check the visibility on center of the main board right here. A little bit further back, I guess. When I said this game was a pain in the ass to set up for space considerations. That's how you... There you go. Alright. So, stability 2 means my first card is going to go here. I'm drawing 6 cards. If I hit, it deals 6 damage. If it does a headshot, it's another 3 damage. I'm doing an additional 1 damage for the stock. So make sure the aim deck is nice and shuffled. And we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If a weapon has recoil, then between each card will be that many empty spaces. Recoil sucks. Try not to have a weapon with it. Unless it's your best option. Alright. So, again, 55. There's 40. There's 50. There's 40. There's 50. There's 20. There's 50. Alright. So you'll apply the results of the stability spot to the card to get your number. But first you'll check for hits. For the automatic hits, so these arrows here, if you're on a higher level, you automatically hit. Number be damned. I did not pull a if your target is higher elevation, then you automatically miss. So, and then if your target is behind cover, you automatically miss. So that's a miss. If you have a headshot, and the headshot is also a hit, then you get the headshot damage as well. However, you'll have to check to see if they have a helmet. So this ignores a headshot result of 50 or less, provided it's the card, not the modified amount. Alright. So what have we got here? 40 is a miss. 50 is a hit. 40 is a miss. 20 is a miss. 50 is a hit, and it's also a headshot. And the helmet does not stop it. So we've got 7 and 10 altogether. So 17 to Bloodhound. So minus 10, minus 3. So 3 shield left. So on a future turn, Bloodhound can use that shield cell, and if they've got one, and restore shield by that many points or not past maximum. It is entirely possible to have reactions. Might have a before firing reaction. So for the first shot, the shooter applies a plus 20 penalty. Might have been a good one to play to this attack for sure. Because upping it from 55 to 75 would have meant nothing, no damage whatsoever. There may be cards that say after firing. Some of the cards may say squad, like, let's see. I can't find one, but if it says squad, then your squad mate, who is not the target, can play it and help provide some support on that defense. Yeah, you'll resolve the attack, do the damage. If you reduce someone's health to 0, you remove them from the board. You take one of their death box tokens, flip it over, becomes a victory point, it goes next to the squad. Alright. Other things that didn't come up in this roll of aim cards. Some cards are semi-hit cards. If you get 2 of them, it's considered an automatic hit. Presumably with enough firepower going through the air, you're guaranteed to hit at least once. But you are limited to 1 shoot activation per turn for each legend. So you're moving all your people, each one of them is going to be able to shoot. At least, shoot once. So what are some other ways to do damage? If you've got a grenade, throw it. If you're also close enough to melee, the move one, or play a rush card and get into that extra movement to get even closer and melee somebody. There's a lot of potential to do a lot of damage on your turn. Anyway, there's very specific circumstances on like the way elevation interacts with shooting as well. The game has an actual diagram if you want to check it out. Oh, the other thing that might come up is the knockdown shield. So, if someone is about to take lethal damage, they prevent that much of it and then flip their shield. It's entirely possible that they take enough damage that the shield doesn't save them. When you respawn, your knockdown shield is available again. Anyway. Alright. Other stuff that comes up. I believe I've already covered feats. Again, use them or don't. And once you're out of cards from your feat deck, that's it. Oh yeah, abilities that have certain time effects. Some things will say duration. You will put the ability token that many turns ahead. So 1, 2, 3. Some abilities will have delay. You put it out that many turns ahead, and when it actually gets to that point, it goes off. Abilities will have cooldown. After they resolve, they go up here, and then every time the cooldown step happens, they'll move one to the left until eventually become available again. Some abilities will put actual things on the map, like smoke, which will generate fields. Portals. Supply drop. Shields. Zipline points. Goddamn birds. And high explosives. Alright. And I believe that is everything. So yeah. Run around, get stuff, shoot your opponents, watch out for that ring, and just have a freaking blast with this. Because, what do I like about this game when I haven't even played it with anyone, and I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get people to play this with me? Just the sheer customizability. The sheer potential to find various things you can combine together. Weapons and attachments, your feats and abilities as a team. All the various things you can use to build a map and do other game modes. This is the other half of the rulebook right here, is the match settings. It's got various maps you can use. It's got the 5 game modes. It's got ideas for how to design your own maps. They say not to build up to level 3 in terms of elevation. I try it just once and see what happens. But yeah, there's just so much potential with the game, and I really want to explore the game further. I know there's expansions coming out. If they're not out already, I definitely want to try and run this at least once with people because it looks like a blast. A lot of moving, shooting, craziness. It felt very daunting when I picked up this game at first. First off, the weight of it. There's a lot of crap to this game. Uh, Assembling the terrain. Some of it's pain in the butt. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you this. This is how the buildings are. Yeah, kind of. So yeah, when you actually get the buildings, maybe it works better pushing them down. Yeah. When you get the buildings for the first time, they're like this, flat, and all that. And then you actually fold them out and you assemble them to make your building. The one unfortunate thing is you can't actually go inside the building, but considering being in any closed space in a firefight kind of sucks. It is for the best. But yeah, it's just a solid combat game. And you know what? I can always go for another solid combat game. I think explaining the aim system might be a little tricky though. But I think this has a lot of potential to just be a play the game once a week and make a kind of long running tournament arc out of playing once a week for like 8 weeks and do something fun for the winter. The one thing that does kind of suck about this is the buildings are just kind of bulging out. If I tape them down here, it means I'm not folding them up again, and honestly, I'm okay with that because folding them is a pain in the ass in the first place. And it's kind of easy to knock things around too, so it's like you gotta be careful with it. But yeah, Apex Legends, the board game, it's finally out. If you notice my thumbnail for the game, fun fact, that's coming from the thumbnail made for if I was ever going to live stream and play and chat during the game. I never used that. But if I get my new computer this year, I might see about coming back to that game too. Yeah, Apex Legends, check it out. A bit on the expensive side. A lot of stuff to it. A little bit to get used to in terms of movement and terrain and all that. But I say go for it. Alright, thanks for watching. Spiller Nexus. I'll see you next time.